Day-6 question 7, and today we'll be doing sort a linked list of zeros and ones and twos. The last question that we did was sort an array of 0, 1 and 2 without using the sort function. This time we are solving a linked list of 0, 1s and 2. We're given a head of linked list where nodes can contain values of 0s, 1s and 2s only. Your task is to rearrange the list so that all zeros appear in the beginning, followed by all ones, and all twos are placed at the end. So one simple approach of doing this would be that we count each and every 0 and 1, and then just in the end fill the array with the count of with whatever count of 1, 2, and 0, 1, 2 and exist. 0, 1 and 2 exist. Let me just start with 4. Count 0 is equals to 0. Int count 1 is equals to 0. Int count 2 is equals to 0. Now while take another node current, which is currently equal to head, what we're going to do is we are going to mention that we have to run the while loop till current is not equals to null. If current dot data is equals to 0, in that case we have to do count 0 plus plus, else if current dot data is equals to 1, count of 1 plus plus, else count of 2 plus plus. Now that we have count, what we can do is we can take current as head again, while current not equals to null. Count 0 minus minus greater than 0. And count of 0 minus minus, as if count of 1 is greater than 0, then current dot data is equals to 1. Count 1 minus minus, else current dot data is equals to 2. Count 2 minus minus, and we'll have to return head. Okay, one thing to note here is we have not current is equals to current car next here, as well as we have not done it here, so the loop will run for infinite time. That is why we're getting that issue. Now the space bars will submit. Okay, any one test case failed. It says expected time limit is 4.14 seconds. I don't know, I just submitted again, it passed. I've not changed anything in the code, but it passed. I can show you my submissions. See here, the code is exactly the same. If I move it to the editor and submit it again, let me see if works or not. It was something related to GFG and not the code. The code was perfectly fine before also. We're going to do one more approach of this question. Let me just write it. Now, this was the basic approach that we could have followed. There's one more approach that we can follow. Now, I will take a smaller example actually. This seems fine to me. Let me just quickly grab this. So the second approach that we're gonna do is what we were doing here in the array. We were having pointers, right? So similarly, we'll have three pointers. One is called 0, D. One would be called 1D. The other would be called 2D. Actually, these are not the pointers. These are three nodes that we'll be creating. Each node would be having a data of 0 and next would be null. Okay, we are also going to create pointers now, and the pointer name would also be 0, 1 and 2. We'll be taking a pointer called current as well, and we're gonna run the same loop as before, which is till current is not equal to null. Till current is not equals to null, we have to run this. So what we'll do is we'll check if the data of current is 0, 1 or 2. As here it is 1, 2, we'll just point this as the 2 pointer as this. One thing to notice, when you'll be creating 2, you'll be assigning it as 2D. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll point to next as 2, and then we'll move pointer of 2 to the next. So what we'll do is 2 next. Okay, let me just erase it. I'll write next as n. Okay, so 2's next is equals to current, and 2 is equals to 2 ka next. So what will this code do is 2 will point to 2 ka next would be here, and then 2 would also be here. Then we'll move current from here to here. Now current would be pointing here. Let me change the color now. This is also 2. Again check. It will make 2 ka next as 2. So is ka next as here. And then 2 would also be moved here. It will check for this data. Current would be current's next. So current would come here. It will check for the data. As the data comes out to be 0, so 0 would be pointing here now, and 0 ka next would be here, and 0 would also be here. So now 0 will point here. It will make current go here. Now it will again compare what is the data. As data is 1, let me change the color again. This will point to 0, and this would be, this will point to 1, and this would be 1 now. this would be 2. So if I make the linked list again, you'll see 2, the linked list is this, right? 0 and 1, orange. So 2 is pointing here, 0 is pointing here, and 1 is pointing here. Now, one thing to note is wherever the first pointer was coming, for example, here, this was 2D connects, this is 0D connects, this is 1D connects. Now, if you see, we have 3 lists 1D. No, firstly, we'll see for 0D. Okay, we'll have 0D connects pointing towards 0, and this is also Z is also pointing here. We have 1D connects pointing towards 1, and 1 is also pointing towards here. Then we have 2D connects pointing to 2 by 2, and 2 is also pointing here. Now, how do we join these three? What we'll do is we'll just mention that zeros D surgical next, or actually not 0D, we'll just take 0 connects. 0 connects would be 1D. This is connects would be 1D connects if it exists. If it does not exist, then it would be 2D connects. Then 1 connects is equals to 1 would be pointing to the last element, right? So it would be equal to 2D connects. And 2 connects would be null because there's nothing here, okay? So it needs to point to null. And then we'll return 0D connects, and that would be our answer. Let me just quickly code it. So we'll have 3 nodes, 4 nodes actually. One would be 0D is equals to new node 0. Node 2D is equals to new node 0. Node new node 0. We'll also have nodes 0 is equals to 0D, 1 is equals to 1D, 2 is equals to 2D. Node current is equals to head, while current not equals to null. What we'll do, as I've already mentioned, if current card data is equals to 0, then what we have to do is 0 car next is equals to current, 0 is equals to 0 का next. Else if current का data is equals to 1, in that case 1 का next is equals to current and 1 is equals to 1 का next. Else 2 का next is equals to current and 2 is equals to 2 का next. Current is equals to current का next. Once this is done, now we'll have to make sure that we join the pointers correctly to join 0, 1 and 2's list. Here that I've explained, no, this part, and this part needs to be joined properly. This, and this. So what we'll do for that is 0 ka next is equals to 0's next would be 1D ka next if it exists. If it does not exist, then 2D ka next. If it exists, then 1D ka next. 1 ka next would be 2D ka next. 2 ka next would be null and head would be 0D ka next, and we'll have to return the head. Let me compile. As you can see, compilation has already completed. Let me just submit the question. So it passed. Thank you so much. This is Day-6. Please like, subscribe, and follow this challenge along with me. See you tomorrow with a new question and a better approach.